If you have more than one debt, there is a good chance you have heard of the snowball method and the avalanche method. Picking the wrong one for your personality could cost you thousands of dollars, or worse, make you quit the plan entirely. Today we settle the debate. Welcome to the Money Mind. I am going to walk you through exactly how each method works, show you the math with real numbers, tell you which personality each one fits, and give you the hybrid approach most real people actually end up using. Let's get into it. First up, the debt snowball. Popularized by Dave Ramsey, this method is dead simple. You list all your debts from smallest balance to largest balance, ignoring interest rates entirely. You pay the minimum on everything, then throw every extra dollar at the smallest debt until it is gone. Then you roll that payment onto the next smallest, and so on. Here is a real example. Say you have 4 debts, an $800 store card, a $2,500 credit card, a $6,500 car loan, and an $18,000 personal loan. With the snowball, you crush that $800 store card first, even if it has the lowest rate. Then you move to the $2,500, then the car, then the loan. Small wins, building momentum. Here's why the snowball is so effective. Research out of Northwestern University actually found that people who use the snowball method are more likely to stick with their debt payoff plan. Why? Because getting a full debt off the list in 3 or 4 months feels amazing. It is real, visible progress, and that momentum keeps you going when life gets hard. Motivation is a finite resource. The snowball gives it back to you. The downside is math. If your smallest debt happens to also have a low interest rate, and your bigger debts have high rates, you are letting the expensive interest keep piling up longer than you need to. Depending on your debt mix, the snowball can cost you a few hundred, or in rare cases a few $1,000s more in total interest over the payoff period. Now the debt avalanche. Same idea, different order. You list your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest, pay minimums on everything, throw every extra dollar at the highest rate debt until it is gone, then roll it onto the next highest rate. The balance size does not matter, only the rate. Same 4 debts as before, but this time we reorder by interest rate. The $2,500 credit card is 24%. The $800 store card is 22%. The $18,000 loan is 11%. The car loan is 6%. With the avalanche, you attack that 24% credit card first, even though it is not the smallest. The avalanche wins on pure math every single time. Because you are killing the most expensive interest first, you pay less total interest and you can be debt-free a little sooner. On a mid-sized debt load, that might mean $300 to $1,500 saved. On a bigger load with some 20+% rates, the savings can be meaningful. The downside is emotional. Your highest rate debt is often also one of your bigger balances, which means you might grind against it for 6, 9, 12 months before you see a single debt fully gone from the list. That is brutal on motivation. And motivation is the reason most debt plans actually fail, not math. So how much money does this actually come down to? For most households, the avalanche saves somewhere between $300 and $1,500 over the entire payoff period. That is real money, but it is not life-changing money. If the snowball gets you to the finish line and the avalanche gets you a pile of half-finished spreadsheets, the snowball wins on math too. Here is the most important lesson in personal finance that nobody teaches you. The best plan is the one you will actually finish. Motivation is a budget item. If your smallest debt is knocked out in 90 days, that dopamine hit might be worth more than the $400 of interest you saved by being mathematically optimal. So which one is for you? Pick the snowball if you have tried and failed at debt payoff before, if you need visible wins to stay motivated, or if your smallest debts and highest rate debts happen to be the same ones. Pick the avalanche if you are disciplined, love spreadsheets, are motivated by saving the most money, or if you have one or two debts with dramatically higher interest rates than the rest. Most real humans end up doing a hybrid. Here's how it works. You start with the snowball just long enough to knock out one or two small debts fast, get the confidence boost, prove to yourself you can do this, and then you switch to the avalanche to save the most money on the bigger debts. Momentum and math. This is what I actually recommend to 90% of the people who ask me. A few common mistakes to avoid regardless of method. First, always pay the minimum on every debt every month. Missing a minimum tanks your credit and triggers fees that blow up your whole plan. Second, you still need a budget. The method just tells you where the extra dollars go. Third, do not take on new debt while you are in payoff mode. Every new card balance resets the timer. Quick recap. Snowball attacks your smallest balance first for the psychological win. Avalanche attacks your highest interest rate first for the math win. The hybrid knocks out one tiny debt for momentum, then switches to avalanche for the rest. And the best plan is always the one you actually finish. If this helped clarify which approach fits your situation, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Tomorrow, I am breaking down how to squeeze one extra payment out of your budget every month without feeling it. I am the Money Mind. Let's keep building.